Hey there, everyone. How are you doing today? So what I wanted to do in today's video is document the full 15-year history of owning a small commercial apartment building. We're probably going to break this session into two chunks. The first one is kind of a summary of the 15 years, income, expenses, mortgage, taxes, insurance. We're going to highlight all of that in the final slide. And then if you stick around, I will actually pull up my management's reports. So if for some reason you wanted to look at the detail behind the 15 years, I will go through each page, I don't know, slowly, somewhat slowly. Not sure, I would hope most of you enjoy the upfront kind of summary and discussion, but I know some of you want to see the detail. So I had my property manager send me the full history since we owned it. So without further ado, let's jump into the first portion. All right, so again, this is going to be the full summary of owning one of our small commercial buildings. So in this case, it's the 5-unit building. This 5-unit building is important. I reference it very quickly in the book, One Rental at a Time. This is the first small apartment building we purchased with our 1031 exchange. This is the building that Norris Drive turned into. Again, it is important for you to understand that sometimes in the market, single family homes are undervalued. Sometimes they are overvalued. And we sold or exchanged Norris Drive when it was overvalued and moved all of our equity into a multifamily building, which allowed us to survive and thrive what became of the collapse. We may be entering a similar time. Single family homes may be undervalued today, multifamily overvalued, and this could change as we go forward. So let's get into the story. So first off, again, it's a 5-unit building. You'll see on the reports it's called Vassar. That's just the street name. This is the one we 1031 exchanged, as I just mentioned. Here are some numbers that you can look at for the summary. These are all close and they are rounded just to make the math easier for people to see. Our mortgage payment was about $900 a month, which is $10,800 a year. Property taxes on the building were right around $2,100, and insurance for the year was $2,350. Again, this is a 5-unit building with the courtyard, garages in the back, so 2 different structures to insure. And then again, so the total that you won't see on the property management reports are $15,200. Again, that's mortgage, property taxes, and insurance. So again, we bought the property as, if you can go look at Norris Drive, right? Norris Drive we sold in December of 04. You can see that we did this 1031 exchange. And the first month we just collected some rent. We closed right at the end of the month, but that's what you see there. Here's the first full year. Again, you can see it's Vassar. Again, this is an example of a report. You see we had some Section 8 money coming in. Was about $6,000 for the year, $500 a month. Most of it was tenant money. You saw a total collection of about $30,000 in rent or income. And then you see a series of expenses. So again, one of the things on this first report that's not highlighted here, but you will see it in the follow-on, is we actually started recording mortgage payments in the report and then realized it was too much of a hassle and we just started doing it outside. So the expenses here look a little inflated because they had $10,000 in mortgage payments there that we backed out. So other than that, it's a clean report, and you'll see that when we do the full detailed report at the end. And then here's 2019. A couple of things to point out. Again, if you go back to 2000 and what was that, 5, total rent was $30,000. You can see that rent has gone up $10,000 in 15 years or 14 years. Expenses here were about $12,000, about $12,500, I guess. For a total income of $27,000. Remember, we had the $15,000 in additional expenses not captured on our property management because we pay those bills outside of the property manager. which again is mortgage, taxes, and insurance. So here's how it breaks down. This is what I wanted to get to because a lot of you want to own small multifamilies. Here's the income expenses, excuse me, and then the mortgage payment, taxes, and insurance. And there's the net for each year. You can see that we had, I think it's 3 negative years where we lost money. 2006 lost $4,000. 2014, $4,000. 2015, $2,300. Those years were lost years because of rental turns. I think in 2006 we had 2. And then we had, I believe we had an eviction and 3 turns in 2014 and 15. Unit turns are what hurts landlords. This is what's going to hurt the landlords as we have the recession, as we realize that owning an apartment building is not great when people want to live in houses. In addition to this, this is, you know, the total profit for owning the building 15 years is right around $58,000. That boils down to only $3,850 a year or $320 a month. So every month we've owned this building, it's put real spendable cash in our pocket of $320. I thought that was important to talk about. Obviously, we saw a nice spike in 2019. Rents went up. Rents went up last year and went up quite substantially. And we grossed over $1,000 a month profit last year. Again, mortgage, taxes, and insurance, I assumed $15,200. If you're a nitpicker, those numbers changed every year, right? Property taxes went up a little bit, insurance went up a little bit, but I don't have the records back there, so I just used a baseline number. But there you go, 5-unit building, all 1-bedroom, 1-baths. You know, we ended up putting about $300 in our pocket every month of ownership. So now what I want to do is I want to step back because some of you want to look at the big reports. So let's do that. My team is awesome. They sent this to me. So here is the entire report. Back again, starting in 2004. How can I change this? So I think I can just scroll down. So again, I just took the whole report. So here's the report for 2005. And if you could look down kind of where hopefully you can see the arrow. You can see in the beginning, we were recording the mortgage payments, taxes, and insurance. It turned out to be too much of a hassle for us. So we started doing that on our own. That's why I backed out that roughly 12 grand in the summary slide earlier. You won't see this in further reports. So if you go down, you can see there's the income and expenses. 2006, again, some of you will like this. Some of you have already tuned out. But here's 2006, month by month. Yep, 2006. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about here. In August and September, that was 1 unit turn. We just paid for it in different chunks. So about 7 grand in a unit turn. Unit turns are expensive. 2007, again, was a pretty good year. Again, month by month. 2008, again, pretty good year. I need 5 more minutes, sweetheart. 2009, again, was a pretty good year. Again, just take a look. 2010, really good years, I remember. 2011, another good year. 2012, again, some of you are stopping and pausing the video now, and others of you have already gone, I don't need to see this, but some of you want to, I understand. 2013, I think, was this? Yep, 13. 2014. Again, you can see here we had a unit turn. See these numbers in general repairs. Probably had, I don't, again, it's hard for me to remember what happened way back in 14, but stuff happened. 2015. 2016. Not sure how fast or slow to go through these, but you can always pause them. 17. 18. 2019. It was a good year, and income went up big time. And then just because you hung around, we'll show you where we sit 2020 year to date. And July hasn't seen full collection. Oh, maybe it has. Maybe it has seen full collections. I didn't ask. So again, that's what I got. So again, those are actual expenses, small multifamily, 5 units, all 1 bedroom, 1 bath. We secured this via the 1031 exchange from Norris Drive. Just thought I would share that with you. Have a wonderful day.